Next week on Coronation Street, November 18th to 22, things are about to get intense. Guilt-ridden Dee-Dee drops a shocking secret on Sarah, leaving her reeling. Meanwhile, Tim faces serious danger from Matty and Logan, and the big question is, will Carla finally find the courage to confess her true feelings to Lisa? Stick around as we break down 12 explosive moments you won't want to miss. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more juicy Coronation Street spoilers and updates. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Let's dive in. 1. Dee-Dee struggles to hold it together. Dee-Dee is in a tough spot, and it's clear the pressure is getting to her. Waking up from a haunting nightmare, she's instantly thrown into the chaos of her reality. It's one of those mornings where everything feels heavier than usual, and no matter how much she tries to shake it off, the weight just doesn't budge. With her mind racing, she pushes herself to focus on work, rushing to meet a new client, hoping that maybe a bit of distraction will help. But deep down, it's obvious. Something much bigger is eating away at her. As the day unfolds, the cracks start to show. The stress finally boils over, and Dee-Dee reaches her breaking point in public, unable to hold it together any longer. It's one of those moments where the world around her seems to freeze and everyone else just becomes a blur. Whatever's troubling her isn't just some small hiccup, it's something that's completely taken over her mind. The big question now is, what exactly is going on behind the scenes, and how will Dee-Dee cope with everything spiraling out of control? 2. Dee-Dee drops a bombshell on Sarah. Kit sees Dee-Dee falling apart and doesn't waste a second before stepping in to help. You can tell he's genuinely concerned, doing everything he can to bring her back from the edge. But sometimes, no matter how hard someone tries to comfort you, it's just not enough to hold back what's boiling inside. Dee-Dee's emotions are all over the place, and it's clear she can't carry the weight of her secret any longer. It's like a dam breaking. She's been holding it in for too long, and now it's all spilling out. Unable to bottle things up anymore, Dee-Dee takes her turmoil straight to Sarah. And when she finally speaks, the truth hits like a freight train, leaving Sarah absolutely stunned. You can imagine the shock, the silence, and then the flood of questions as Sarah tries to process what she's just heard. Whatever Dee-Dee's been hiding, it's big enough to send ripples through their lives and leave Sarah struggling to figure out what to do next. It's one of those moments that changes everything. 3. Shona receives an update about Clayton. Shona gets a shock when she checks her emails and discovers a message in her junk folder. It's an email from Clayton's prison containing news about her son. Shona later learns Clayton has regained consciousness, but doesn't want to see her. She informs David, who's relieved his wife doesn't know about their secret meeting in prison. 4. Mason tells a foolish lie. After being questioned over Tim's stolen car, Matty and Logan are released without charge. Back on the cobbles, Betsy urges Mason to make out it was Tim who grassed his brothers up to the cops. The teens enjoy a bit of flirty back and forth, but the mood is soured when Matty pulls up in his car, wanting a word with Mason. 5. Tim is in serious trouble. Sally and Tim are horrified to find the word grasses sprayed in graffiti across their front door. Tim assures his wife he's reported Matty and Logan to the police, but danger could be lurking for the cabbie when Mason and Betsy witness Logan getting into Tim's car. 6. Logan and Matty target Tim. Mason and Betsy are starting to panic as they realize something's seriously off with Tim, and they know they can't just sit back and do nothing. Worried sick, they turn to Eileen, desperate to get someone involved who can actually help. There's this growing sense of urgency. It's like they know time is running out and whatever's happening to Tim might already be spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, outside Weatherfield, Tim finds himself in a situation no one would ever want to be in. Logan's presence alone is unsettling, but when Matty gets in the car, things quickly take a darker turn. You can feel the tension rising as the siblings make their intentions crystal clear. For Tim, this is no ordinary confrontation. It's a terrifying power play, and he's left frozen, wondering what kind of lesson they're about to teach him. It's the kind of moment that has you on the edge of your seat, bracing for the worst. 7. Ken has bad news for Cassie. Ken returns home from Portugal and tells the Barlows he's been assessing his personal finances. He's realized he can no longer afford to keep Cassie on as his helper, and will have to let her go. It's music to his family's ears, but how will Cassie take the news that her services are no longer required? 8. Ken is rushed to hospital. As Ken's health takes an unexpected turn for the worse, he offers to up Cassie's hourly rate if she accepts her job back. Adam, Steve, and Tracy all suspect foul play and stand together as Tracy orders Cassie to sling her hook and stop sponging off her elderly dad. Afterwards, Ken is rushed to hospital to be examined, and Cassie's luck runs out when Steve tells her she's been sacked again. 9. Lisa hits the bottle. Betsy's heartfelt announcement about visiting Becky's grave hits hard, especially when she reminds everyone it's her birthday. It's one of those moments that stops Lisa in her tracks. The realization that she forgot such an important day leaves her completely overwhelmed with guilt. You can almost feel her mind racing, trying to piece together how she could have let this slip. It's not just about forgetting, it's the weight of what Becky's memory means to everyone, and Lisa feels like she's let them down. Unable to shake the guilt, Lisa heads to the Rovers, looking for a way to escape how she's feeling. The atmosphere there is familiar, but it doesn't do much to ease her turmoil. Drink in hand, she's clearly not just there for a casual pint, she's hoping to drown out the regret. That's when Carla steps in. Whether it's curiosity or concern that draws Carla to Lisa, it's clear this isn't a conversation Lisa was expecting, especially in such a vulnerable moment. 10. Carla confesses her love for Lisa. Lisa wakes up the next morning on Carla's sofa, head pounding from the night before. It's that kind of hangover where the regret hits just as hard as the headache. She's trying to piece together the details, probably wondering how she even ended up there. Meanwhile, Carla's in her own world, grappling with feelings she's been trying to push aside. It's one thing to care about someone, but admitting it, even to yourself, is a whole different story. When Carla finally confides in Ryan, it's clear she's struggling, admitting she feels completely out of her depth. But Ryan, ever the supportive voice, gives her the nudge she needs, telling her to take a chance and go for what she wants. Later, Carla heads back home, ready to confront whatever comes next, only to walk in on Lisa mid-morning recovery, getting dressed and clearly ready to move on with her day. It's an awkward moment, to say the least. Carla's left standing there, caught between her emotions and the fear of making a move that could change everything. The tension is undeniable. Does she take Ryan's advice and follow her heart, or does she let her doubts keep her from saying anything at all? It's a make-or-break moment, and you can't help but wonder what Carla will decide. 11. Betsy is the victim of theft. Logan and Matty aren't backing down, and their reign of terror takes another nasty turn when they target Betsy. Cornering her is bad enough, but stealing her phone pushes things to a whole new level. It's not just about the phone, it's about power and control, and you can imagine how helpless Betsy must feel in that moment. The tension is rising, and it's clear these two aren't planning to stop anytime soon, leaving everyone around them on edge. Meanwhile, Lisa's world is thrown into panic when she stumbles across a message from Betsy saying she's in trouble. That sinking feeling of dread sets in instantly. This isn't just a simple problem she can brush off. Without wasting a second, Lisa's out the door, desperate to track Betsy down before things get even worse. You can feel her fear and urgency as she races against the clock, hoping she's not too late to protect her daughter from whatever danger she's facing. 12. Nick and Toyah are at risk of being rumbled. Nick and Toyah are playing with fire as their secret fling heats up once again, this time in the bistro office. It's clear they just can't keep away from each other, stealing moments whenever and wherever they can. The thrill of sneaking around seems to add to the excitement, but it's also a risky game. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to forget just how quickly things can spiral out of control. That reality hits hard when they hear Leanne approaching, her footsteps cutting through the tension like a knife. Panic sets in as they scramble to pull themselves together, frantically trying to make it look like nothing's going on. But with Leanne so close, you can't help but wonder, are their quick reflexes enough to save them? Or is their secret about to blow up right in their faces? It's one of those edge-of-your-seat moments where everything hangs in the balance, and that wraps up our rundown of the 12 huge Coronation Street spoilers for next week. From shocking confessions to dangerous confrontations, it's clear Weatherfield is heading for another wild ride. Which storyline are you most excited to see unfold? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the latest Coronation Street updates and juicy spoilers. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss out on what's coming next. See you in the next video.